Hello friends, today my topic is Paper 1 Section B 11th chapter Social Movements. Topics are Civil Liberties and Human Rights Movement, Women's Movement and Environmentalist Movement. These three topics are very important. For 15 mark question, one question compulsory guarantee question. So that's why I have prepared these three topics. I will explain one by one how to prepare note making on these three. First, civil liberties and human rights. This is the introduction, body, and conclusion. The civil liberties and human rights movement in India emerged to safeguard the democratic values in enshrined in Indian Constitution. While its roots lie in the anti-colonial struggle, it took organized shape during and after the emergency 1975 to 77. This is enough for introduction. If you want, you can continue. When state repression triggered widespread demand for accountability, transparency, and justice. This is the introduction for the civil liberties and human rights movement. Coming to body, historical evolution, pre-independence era, protests against colonial suppression of freedoms by leaders like Gandhi and Tilak. Next, Tilak means Balagangadhar Tilak. Next point, post independence 1950 to 70s. Concern over preventive detention laws and growing centralization. Third point, emergency period 1975 to 77. Suspension of civil liberties, mass arrests, and censorship led to mass resistance. Fourth point, post-emergency onward, focus expanded to include custodial violence, Dalit atrocities, tribal displacement, AFSPA misuse. Key activists and organizations. PUCL and PUDR, this is established during post-emergency to defend civil rights. Jayaprakash Narayan led civil disobedience movement. Justice V.R. Krishna Iyer strengthened rights interpretation under Article 21. Binayak Sen and K.G. Kannabiran advocated for marginalized communities. Major cases and events. Important. ADM Jabalpur case 1976. Right to life suspended. ADM Jabalpur case. Next, Bhagalpur blindings exposed police brutality. AFSPA protects fake encounters sparked national rights debates. This is very important. Sometimes directly ask this question. Contribution to democracy. I have 4 points. First point, strengthened judicial accountability and PILs. Public interest litigations. PIL means public interest litigations. Second point, protected marginalized groups and civil freedoms. Third point, promoted human rights awareness and civil participation. Fourth, resisted misuse of repressive laws. Example, UAPA, NSA. This is about body. Coming to conclusion, this movement has acted as the moral compass of the Indian democracy by challenging unchecked state power and expanding the meaning of rights. It ensures that constitutional promises are not mere text but lived realities for all citizens. This is about civil liberties and human rights movement. Coming to women's movement. I got my points, friends. Introduction for civil liberties. Body. In body we have historical evolution, activists and organizations, then major cases and events, and contribution to democracy, and conclusion. And also same as women's movement in India. The women's movement in India has been a powerful force advocating gender justice, equality, and dignity. Though its roots go back to social reform movement in the 19th century, it gained new momentum during the national movement and re-emerged as a vibrant force in post-independence India, especially after the 1970s. Historical background. Coming to body, historical background and key phases. Social reform, nationalist phase, social reform phase, nationalist phase, post-independence phase, autonomous women's movement phase. These are four phases. First point, social reform phase, 19th century. Focus on abolishing sati, child marriage and promoting women's education. Related leaders for this, Raja Ramohan Rai, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, Savitribai Phule. Next, nationalist phase, early 20th century. Women joined the freedom struggle, led protest boycotts. Organizations, Women's India Association, WIA, and AIWC. Third point, post-independence phase, 1950 to 70. Legal reforms, Hindu code bills, women parliament, and movement slowed due to state-led development focus. Fourth, autonomous women's movement phase, post 1975. Trigger, towards equality report 1974 exposed gender disparities. Focus, dowry, death, rape laws, domestic violence, workplace harassment. Key movements or events. Madura rape case 1979 led to criminal law reforms. Shabanu case, debate in Muslim women's right, Muslim. Vishaka Guidelines 1997, workplace harassment framework. Fourth, Nirbhaya movement 2012, stronger rape laws, public awakening, contributions to democracy. First point, mainstream gender discourse in law and policy. Second point, pushed for legal reforms and accountability mechanisms. Third point, expanded space for women's participation in public-private life. Fourth point, challenging patriarchy, caste and class discrimination simultaneously. This is the body. Coming to conclusion, the women's movement in India has transformed from social reform to rights-based activism. It continues to challenge systemic patriarchy and expand the democratic ideal of equality, making Indian democracy more inclusive and participatory. This is about women's movement in India. Introduction, historical evaluation and key phases in body, key movements or events, contribution to democracy. Next, coming to environmentalist movement is very important. Repeatedly asked this question. Introduction. The environmental movement in India began as a grassroots response to threats against forest, land, and water resources. It gradually in evolved into a nationwide demand for sustainable development and ecological justice. Key features or phases. First point, pre-1970 phase. In this, we have 2 points. Locally rooted, unorganized protects against forest policies, mining, dams, etc. Next one, focused on access to natural resources and rights, subs- subsistence rights. Okay. Second point, post 1970 phase. Emergency of large scale ecological movements. Next, shift from local to national or global environmental concerns. Next, use of legal activism, PIL and media. Third point, post liberalization phase 1990s onward. In this one, first point, opposition to development projects that cause displacement and pollution. Next, emphasis on environmental justice, sustainable development and climate activism. Here, major movements and activists. Chipko movement, 1973. Tree hugging protects to prevent deforestation. Next, second, Silent Valley movement, 1970s. Opposed hydroelectric project in Kerala's rainforest. Third, Narmada Bachao Andolan protects against Sardar Sarovar Dam and displacement. Tehri Dam protects environmental and seismic risk raised. Next, Save the Western Ghats highlighted diversity threats. Activists Medha Patkar, Sundarlal Bahuguna, Vandana Shiva, Aruna Rai. Contribution to democracy. Deepened participatory democracy by including marginalized voices. Second point, advocated for people-centric development. Third, pushed environmental impact assessment and accountability. Fourth, challenged state corporate nexus in land or resource use. Coming to conclusion, India's environmental movement has played a critical role in defending both nature and the rights of people dependent on it. This is enough. Serves as a high serves as a bridge between development and sustainability, making democracy more responsible to ecological concerns. I have explained about civil liberties and human rights movement, women's movement, environmentalist movement. Uh, if you see 2013 to 2024 PYQ, we have only five questions. Five questions appeared in this social movements chapter. First, second, third, fourth, Chipko movement. Fifth, compare and contrast between Chipko movement and Narmada Bachao Andolan. These all are five questions. Please be prepared. Thank you for watching. Happy learning.